guys, it's Emma, and I'm back today for you with another video. And today we're doing something that I have not done in a while. We are doing a book review today, and that book review is going to be on To Kill a Kingdom by Alexandra Christo. This is about Lyra, who is siren royalty and the most vicious and fearsome and lethal one of all of them. And that is because for every year of her birthday, she has gotten human hearts. One for each birthday of hers, but because she's the princess, she specifically goes after the hearts of princes in the human world, right? And she is known as the Prince's Bane to humans. And one day, a really bad twist of luck happens for her where she kills one of her own, and in order to be punished, her mother, the Sea Queen, changes her into a human and robs her of her voice, of her song, right? And she is given a task that she has to kill Prince Elian, a siren hunter, in order for her to get her tail back and her song back. And Prince Elian is the other main character that we follow, and he, like I said, he's a siren hunter, and he's looking for two things. He's looking for a crystal that he thinks will defeat the sirens in order to make humanity safe, and the Prince's Bane. So it's all about him and Lyra meeting each other, and Lyra getting close to him in order to kill him, and him using her in order to try and find this crystal. That's To Kill a Kingdom. There are a few trigger warnings in this book, and they are murder, gore, child abuse, I would say, and then suicide ideation. If you could tell from the title above, there's a little bit of animosity here, and that is because I did not finish this book. I DNF'd it at around 59%, so what is it? Page 204. So because I did get over halfway through the book, I did rate it, and we'll get to the rating, obviously, as always, at the end of the video. But if this is going to bother you, the fact that I have not finished it, then you might want to click off now. But if you would still like to hear my opinions, which are subjective, by the way, please stay tuned. This video is basically just going to be about why I didn't really care for To Kill a Kingdom, but at the same time, there are obviously going to be pros as to why people might like To Kill a Kingdom. So with that being said, let's just get right into it. All right, so let's start with the pros. All right, the pacing of this book. This book is incredibly easy and incredibly fast to get through, all right? It was to the point where I got to page maybe 200 in one sitting. I was thinking to myself, oh my goodness gracious, I can't remember the last time I have actually been able to get that far in one sitting, in one book. Incredible. All right, so the writing style is very easy to digest, it's very easily accessible, and I don't know, it's, like I said, it's very fast-paced and it flows very easily. Then the lore into the sirens themselves. Okay, the lore is probably the strongest point of this book, I would say. All right, because we've got sirens and we've got mermaids. They're two very different things. The sirens are the more humanoid type creatures, whereas mermaids are more fish than human. There are no male sirens. If there are, I don't necessarily remember what happened to them, but as of right now, there are no male sirens, okay? There are mermen, however, and they are like roguish. They don't really like swim in schools like the mermaids do. They're like really territorial. They're aggressive. They're named by what they're known for, basically. Like, for example, the most vicious one that we learn about, his name is Flesh Eater. Then we've got Skinner, then we've got Cutter. So you have the lore for the mermen, the lore for the mermaids, and then you have the lore for the sirens themselves, like how the sirens came into being, their goddess, how the humans and sirens even began to be warring in the first place, what the crystal that Elian is looking for, like what it does, how it came into being, why. Like even the Sea Queen herself, like just the description of her, how she gets her powers, what her powers do to her. The lore of To Kill a Kingdom, like I said, I believe is its strongest point. And probably I think that is what will get a lot of people interested in it. And I think, honestly, that is what would hook a lot of people. Now we get into the cons. I have about 3. And the first that we're going to start out with is just the characters in and of themselves. All of the characters besides the main characters were flat to me. Especially the Sea Queen. I just gabbered on about how much I loved the lore from her, practically frothing at the mouth, all right? But the character herself was almost cartoonish. I want to say that like the layers of skin and the bones of the characters were good, right? They were really good. The Sea Queen, I loved like just the malevolence around her. The skin and the bones itself of each character I feel like were really well done. But it was the organs and the blood and everything in between that wasn't matching it. You had the bare basics of a character really good, and then you had the, I guess, embellishments of a character really good, but then you, like, everything in the middle, everything that it takes to connect the two of them were flat. It was underwhelming. They were forgettable to me. I remember like reading, like, even Elian's crew. We meet Elian's siren hunting crew, and I'm not gonna lie, I forgot almost all of their names, almost all of what they look like. Every single time I came upon one of them again, I was like, oh, that's right, you're here. It was disappointing, honestly, because the characters did have a lot of potential, just wasn't met. I know that the pacing was a pro. It's kind of a double-edged sword here, okay? Because while it was fast and easy to read, it felt like so little happened in so many pages. It was tripping me out a little bit, I'm not gonna lie, because I was like reading through it and I'm like, I'm waiting for more stuff to happen, and I'm getting like 10 pages further, another 10 pages further, another 10 pages further, and it's like, what is going on here? This story is not going anywhere. I felt like I was going so fast, but at the same time, literally going nowhere. Now, the romance / the main characters. I feel like this is a staple in the enemies to lovers category, just in romance in general, right? And while I see, while I understand the path that you are walking down, I don't understand the destination, okay? Because to me, this was not enemies to lovers. To me, enemies to lovers is both of these people being like, I hate you with every speck of shit in me. I hate you with every fiber of my being, all right? And this did not read like that. The dialogue in here was cheesy, repetitive, didn't really feel like we were going anywhere in this relationship building, like, at all. It felt like to me that almost all of Lyra's and Elian's conversations just consisted of one of them asking the other a question, the other getting, I guess, annoyed by the question, and then sarcastically or snarkily, like, repeating the question back to them, and, like, the other person, like, snickering or, like, it was a lot of back and forth that wasn't even back and forth. It was just like the same question. Like it was repetitive, and it was so awkward at points. Elian would be like, oh, are you hungry right now? You know, after like having her in a cabin or whatever. And Lyra would like, I don't know, am I hungry right now, pretty boy, or something like that. And then Elian would just be like, and then it would just be like them staring at each other for maybe 5 minutes until somebody else came in and added something to the conversation. It was like, dude. Not even the banter lived up to it, all right? The banter was kind of lame. The banter was lame, all right? And I feel like banter is kind of an essential ingredient in an enemies to lovers thing here, okay? And then also just the characters themselves. I didn't really understand Lyra's decisions. I don't want to get spoilery, obviously, because this is a spoiler-free review, but some of the decisions that she made, I just did not understand it. It was above my pay grade. It was above my class level, okay? Because just it got to a point where I was having to be like, okay, is this just a woman who is murderous, who is bloodthirsty, who has feminine rage, which we endorse to the highest motherfucking degree, all right? Or is it just bad writing? Because I don't understand. I just don't understand. There's no logic behind almost any of the decisions that she made other than to be mean and or petty. And it's like, girl, you want to rule the Siren Kingdom like this? It's not computing. The synapses are not connecting. The enzymes are not firing. Now, Elian's a different story. Whether or not you want to feel sympathy for a filthy rich prince who just doesn't want to be a prince anymore. I just want to go live on my boat and kill sirens with my friends. Whether or not you want to sympathize with him is that's all you. I don't really care. Honestly, Elian to me was really just a side piece for Lyra, and even Lyra wasn't that engaging, unfortunately. And honestly, now that I think about it, I like them more as friends. This whole like enemies to lovers type thing, I don't know. Can it be enemies to friends, or at least like enemies to allies? I just feel like that would fit their relationship more, at least from what I saw in the writing and in the dialogue. I don't know. But yeah, Lyra, and Elian. The only thing good about that couple that I recognize is that the fan art of them is spectacular. I gave To Kill a Kingdom by Alexandra Christo 2 stars. It's not horrible. It's not a bad book by any mean, all right? Shit. This is Alexandra Christo's debut book, all right? It's pretty good for a debut book, okay? There are some critiques that I have, right? But that's just me. But I really do hope that, you know, anybody that's watching this video, you know, if you've decided you don't want to read this book anymore, then maybe that's a good thing. You probably won't waste your time because you probably won't end up liking this book. But if you'd still like to read this book, go for it, all right? And honestly, if you like this book, props, all right? Because you obviously saw something that I didn't, okay? So you guys, that was my spoiler-free review for To Kill a Kingdom by Alexandra Christo. I hope you enjoyed. I hope that, again, you maybe found some resonance with this video. If you are like me and you didn't like it, because I feel like this book is pretty well loved on booktube and maybe not book talk, but I wouldn't be surprised, quite honestly. So, you know, I hope you guys could find some camaraderie in this video. If you do like this book, let me know why down below, all right? And if you don't like this book, let me know why down below, all right? Because I could use some camaraderie here, okay? So you guys, with that being said, I hope that you enjoyed. I hope that you will stay tuned for what I am putting out on my channel in the future, that you guys are staying safe, and that you guys have a good rest of your day. Goodbye.